At the end of the day, it really comes down to a simple principle: DWYSYWD. Do what you say you would do. This will build the trust and respect that every great leader needs. No matter which leadership style you adopt, cultivating trusting relationships is essential to being an effective leader. Welcome back, leaders, and thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Emily Baez. In this episode, we're diving into 3 essential elements that lay the groundwork to be a remarkable leader. So, what are the foundations of leadership? Credibility, trust, and humility. We're also going to see how Jesus exemplified these characteristics and explore 3 leadership theories that highlight the value of building strong relationships. So, let's jump right in. First of all, credibility is where leadership begins. To be a true leader, you need followers, which means establishing positive relationships with those around you. People are more likely to follow leaders that are trustworthy, knowledgeable, and competent. It is very important for them to believe in you as a person before they can trust you. Which leads me to my next point. Trust is crucial in building relationships. Your followers don't just want to hear about your values, they want to see them in action. When you prioritize the needs of others above your own, you become someone that they can depend on. Transparency, honesty, authenticity, integrity, and ethics go a long way in making you a trustworthy person. Remember, doing the right thing, even when no one is watching, is going to help you become someone that they can admire and they can follow. And don't forget, trust is a two-way street. You have to trust your followers and empower them to get the job done. Lastly, humility is a very important trait for every leader. Nobody's perfect, and that is perfectly okay. Showing your vulnerability will actually help you become credible and build trust. Great leaders know that they can't do everything alone, that they don't know everything, and that making mistakes is just a part of the process. Staying humble allows leaders to seek help and strive for newer heights. It also allows leaders to keep an open mind and continue learning. Now, let's see how Jesus embodied these characteristics. Jesus established his credibility by performing miracles that showcased him as the Messiah. He healed the sick, helped the deaf hear, the mute speak, and the blind see. He referred to Scripture to prove his identity and his mission. His actions always matched his words. He didn't tell us to love one another without showing us how to do it first. Even while he was being crucified, Jesus prayed for those who were hurting him. Jesus also built trust with his disciples. He taught them and he empowered them to share the good news and continue his work. Above all, Jesus showed incredible humility. As the Son of God, he came and sacrificed his life for sinners. He came to serve and not be served, as he showed when he washed the feet of his disciples. Truly, Jesus is the ultimate example of a great leader whose influence lasts until today, thousands of years later. So how do relationships affect leadership? Well, let's explore 3 different leadership theories to shed light on this. The first leadership theory is servant leadership. This approach flips the traditional view of leadership. Here, the leader serves first. The follower chooses to follow when they see the servitude of the leader. Over time, the followers will eventually become leaders themselves in serving others. This emphasis on serving as a leader changes the views of leadership of simply responding to power and authority. The next leadership theory is transformational leadership. Transformational leadership takes the relationships a step further from transactional leadership. Transactional leadership is where tasks are exchanged for rewards or avoidance of corrective actions. In transformational leadership, the relationships built between leaders and followers transform each other and they grow together. Transformational leaders see their followers as a whole, and by seeing them as entire individuals, they can identify their needs and support their growth. This creates an environment where everyone thrives. The last leadership theory we'll take a look at is the leader-member exchange theory. Here, leaders develop different quality relationships with their followers. These relationships can either be determined as in-groups or out-groups. In high-quality, strong, trusting relationships, the followers tend to perform better. These are the in-group followers. The out-group followers have weaker connections with their leaders and do not perform as well. Therefore, it is essential that leaders create high-quality relationships in order to maximize effectiveness of everyone involved. Across all three theories we see, and it's evidently clear, that the quality of our relationships not only shapes our leadership, but it also shapes the lives of those that we guide. At the end of the day, it really comes down to a simple principle. DWYSYWD. Do what you say you would do. This will build the trust and respect that every great leader needs. No matter which leadership style you adopt, cultivating trusting relationships is essential to being an effective leader. It's also worth noting that being flexible in your approach can really help, as different situations will require you to adapt your leadership style. But we'll talk about situational leadership on another episode. For now, peace, love, and leadership. God bless.